I didn't actually take any footage when we were in the archipelago. We were just there for like a half an hour, picking someone up and then walking away, and spent most of the time trying to find a toilet. So that's basically the reason why I didn't. But it was a lot of water and it was pretty nice. It's kind of cool there. It's much warmer here. The sun is back on. I just went down to post some of the packages that were going out. I got even more postage for even more packages that is going out soon, so yeah. I have been procrastinating and now I can't procrastinate anymore. But I'm on my way back home and I thought, why not do a little vlog outside? It's quite a lovely weather. It's quite a lovely place to be. So yeah. I'm still in that mood of wanting, I have all these ideas in my head that is totally messing up and I have to do something about it. I could just write them down and I will write some of it down, and some I'm gonna find the next book that I can write it down in, and I'm gonna use that also. But I've decided that I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna start with something. I'm gonna let my hexapuffs take a little rest, and I'm gonna start a hexagonal quilt. Yeah. So this little clip I will name what you can use your silhouette to, not only for papercraft. There are, like, you can cut things with your silhouette, you can cut fabric with your silhouette if you have the right knife and stuff, but I don't I don't have the knife or anything. But I always hand quilted. I hand quilted for the past 10 years, 15 years or something like that, and when I do, I use these like paper hexagons inside the fabric. I can show you later how I put them together, but I usually cut these by hand from like cereal boxes and stuff, and that is a really good, if you're on a low, if you don't have any money, you don't have the silhouette and stuff like that, make your cardboard things out of recycled things. It's awesome, but I don't think my silhouette will cut my cereal boxes. So instead I'm actually using up some of the 12 by 12 paper that I've had lying around for years that I just don't use. It's just colors that I haven't found a good use for. I'm not a person, I don't like yellows really. I try to use it, but usually the cards I do with yellow don't turn out that well. So I have had this colored cardstock in my stash for a very long time. So I thought, why not just use it for my hexagons instead of not using it at all. So I went into my silhouette software. They do have the like polygon tool. You can just click and you get a polygon, and then you can choose how many corners with a little thingy. And I have these 6 corners is hexagons, and I really like how hexagonal projects turn out. And then I just went up to some like object and page fill, and I just replicated them for a full page. So now I have lots of them, and I didn't have to cut them out or write them down. It went much faster. Much faster. So I'm going to start with that. I have like 5 different more projects in my head that I want to do right now, but you can only work on one thing at a time, and I really need to just sit down in my sofa because I do not feel good today. I think the sun has pushed me into a new flare in my lupus. It's starting, in the beginning I hoped that it was just a cold, but it is going on for like 3-4 weeks now, and my joints are getting worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to call my doctor tomorrow, and see if we can kind of change my medications or something to kind of get my joints not to hurt that much. But I get to craft instead. Have to see the silver lining. Yeah, I can't do what I want that isn't crafts, so I get to do crafts. I thought I'd show you how far I have come with my kind of quilt. Yeah. Here's all the hexagon pieces that I cut out with the silhouette. And then we have some fabric squares here. Sitting in the sofa, yeah. I already had, see here, I have a whole bunch of squares which I've made for another quilt, but I don't remember what I was supposed to do with it. I don't remember what the idea was behind the quilt or anything. So I noticed that those squares that I made, if I cut them in half and half, I got perfect squares for my hexagons. And here's the hexagons I started with. This is how I do it. I take the hexagons and I sew around them. So the fabric in each of one of these is one of those. So that I just get the fabric, and then I'm gonna take them and I put them on top of each other like this, and I sew, just throw stitches all the way here. And then when that's done, I just fold that up and I add another one. I'll show you when I gotten a bit, but right now I'm just sitting and stitching the fabric onto the paper pieces. It's fun, relaxing. So we'll see how many I get done today. Good evening, guys. Well, my living room starts to look more and more like a craft room. I'm gonna allow it to be this way for a couple of days because Christopher is off walking in the mountains, so he won't be home. So then I can just use it a bit like a craft room for a while. But I'm going to need to go through everything and put it back into its place, because it's meaning that we're meaning to have an apartment, not a craft room. I actually felt the way about my two previous apartments, that I kind of have a tendency to have craft things everywhere. And that's why I was so happy about this place, because I got a separate room where I could have my craft things. And still going out a little bit, like my fabrics and my yarns I keep in my bedroom, in the closet there. So still have some of my things on other places, but that's mostly because I have too little space in the craft room versus the amount of different crafts I do. But I thought I'd show you, see if I can open this with one hand. I think I can. I'll show you what I've done today. Here, so you see, this is the little quill thingy I've done. It's like these hexagons. This looks like a bee something. Yeah. So this is the start of it. I think this specific thing is going to be a scissor and like needle keep. I have a teeny tiny one that I made a couple of years ago for my beekeeper's quilt. Now I decided to make a bigger one this time around, so that I also will have a pocket for my scissors, and then I will have a space for my sewing needles that I used to sew them with, and also for some knitting markers that's going to go into this. And we'll see when I've done it if I'll make new ones and put up on Etsy, because I think this is the kind of project I really like to make, because I can do myself. Even though I like paper and I like to do my paper craft, I'm more versatile in fabrics because I worked with fabrics much more than I have with papers, and I have more original ideas instead of making what everyone else do, sort of. It's very easy to just not copy, because I don't copy things, but it's easier it's easier for me to get more like a references for paper craft, while for fabric I have all these bubbly ideas everywhere all the time, and I haven't done a fraction of it either. so I have a lot. It's just that it takes time and I don't really have the space to do big fabric projects. Like the other day I was watching Project Runway, which is one of my absolute favorite shows ever, and I think that's why I picked out my quilt, because I get this, like, I want to make clothes, I want to make fabric thingies, I want to make bags, and I've done a couple of bags, I have sewn a couple of clothes. It's just that it takes so much time. It takes several days to make them, and that means I would need to have the fabric laying out, and I don't have the space to have fabric laying out, so sadly. But we'll see when I grow older. Maybe I get to become a designer at 40. You never know. But I'm gonna head to bed because it's starting to get late and I'm really tired. It's been a long week, very long week, and I'm going up for work tomorrow, and then we'll see what the week will bring. Hopefully something good. Well, I'm heading off to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye.